What we talked about was you've done a great job playing the golf course. You played it better than 99% of the people. And let's just go out and play the golf course again, and we'll have to see with 3 or 4 or 5 holes if you're going to be in contention. You know, we definitely, you don't know if you can win. I mean, I remember specifically telling him, look, you don't know if you can win, but don't take that possibility away before you even tee off. Tiger was in the last group that day. Let's don't just give it to Tiger, you know. So that was a big key that day, and he, you know, got off to a decent start and actually bogeyed the first hole, but came back with birdies on 2 and 3, and that kind of got him into playing the golf course. And then, you know, for him, he was doing a good job, but just continuing to play the golf course, still in the game, and he kind of took the lead at the right time. You know, he only had the lead with about 4 holes to go, maybe, and where he kind of knew it, you know. I think sometimes for a guy that hasn't won a major where he was that time, if he had taken the lead with 10 or 12 holes to go and he knew about it, it would have been much harder. It would have been too long to hold on to it. And so that's what, you know, that's how a lot of times how you have guys win their first major is they get the lead at the right time. If Rory were to be able to, you know, lead wire to wire, that would be very impressive. I mean, winning a major is hard no matter what, but if he were able to take the lead, play great all 4 days, especially if Tiger makes a charge, takes the lead away from him, you know, I mean, I would think, to me, that would be very impressive mentally, because I think that's more difficult, you know. I think the biggest mistake people make is they try too hard to relax. And what they need to know, and what I tell all my guys is, hey, you're going to be nervous. But nervousness does not equal poor play. A lot of people just buy into that. But what I always tell them is, look, you've hit thousands of bad golf shots when you weren't the least bit nervous. And you've hit a lot of great golf shots when you are nervous. But people buy into this myth that if I'm nervous, I'm not going to play good. And that's just not factual. So what I want them to say is, hey, every time you play, you're probably going to have negative thoughts. You're probably going to get nervous. You're probably going to get some result thoughts. That's not the problem. The problem is if you don't know what to do with that and say, okay, hey, I recognize that, but let's get back into doing whatever my process is. So, but being nervous is not a problem. And I've literally had to kind of coach guys on, hey, quit trying to run away from being so nervous and go ahead and embrace it, and let's figure out how to deal with it, because it's going to be there. If Rory were to be able to, you know, lead wire to wire, that would be very impressive. I mean, winning a major is hard no matter what, but if he were able to take the lead, play great all 4 days, especially if Tiger makes a charge, takes the lead away from him, you know, I mean, I would think, to me, that would be very impressive mentally.